of Princess Kiara.
This is fun!
Let's see. Grubs.
Ew! Gross!
And so high in protein.
The Lion King 2, Simba's Pride.
What a blast!
On the magical world of Disney Junior. Friday night at 6/5 Central. Now, get ready for Stanley on Disney Junior.
Stanley.
Do you know a guy who talked to a kangaroo?
Hi there.
Who's always ready to learn about something new?
Wow.
Whose favorite book has all the animals you could wish? Who's proud to say his best friend is a fish?
That's right, it's my man Stanley.
Oh yeah, it's my man Stanley.
Welcome to Stanley's World. Come help him figure out what life is all about. Who takes you swimming with dolphins?
Oh yeah.
Laughs with a lion too.
Cool.
No problem Stan can't solve. It's solving it involves having a friend like you. Having a friend like you.
It's Stanley.
It's Stanley. With a friend like you.
It's Stanley.
It's Stanley.
It's Stanley.
Remembering with elephants. I say.
Oh, is it lunch already?
Hey, what's the big deal? Who's making the racket?
I think whoever's making the racket is a very big deal.
Oh, my.
Dudes, nice knowing you. I loved you as much as a dog could love a cat or a fish.
What on earth could possibly be so big?
The biggest animal in the land. Me, an elephant.
Elephant! Dudes, run! Dudes, if you see the elephant, don't forget to tell him I'm not here.
Silly Harry. It's me, Stanley.
Yeah, right. I'm not falling for that one.
I knew it was Stanley. But really, I did. Harry, however, believes Stanley is an elephant. Do you know what's the same between Stanley and an elephant? The colour of an elephant's skin is grey, just like Stanley's blanket. And the springy toy on Stanley's nose looks like an elephant's long trunk. But wait a moment. Stanley, I'm sorry, but don't you have to go to the supermarket today with your mum?
Yeah. But don't worry, Dennis. I've got plenty of time before we leave to go shopping. In fact, I've got enough time to go drink a glass of orange juice.
That's funny. I didn't know elephants liked orange juice.
Nothing like a glass of orange juice in the morning.
You said it, Lionel. You finished all the orange juice.
Sorry, Stanley, but you know what they say. The early bird catches the worm, and you're still in your pajamas.
We better go to the supermarket now, Stanley.
But, Mom, Lionel's the one who finished the orange juice. Why doesn't he have to go to the supermarket?
What's so bad about the supermarket?
Mom!
You don't think we'll have fun at the supermarket?
Mom, you're silly.
I know. And if you don't want to go to the supermarket, that's fine. You don't have to. I was going to get some crumbly crust donuts, but if you're not coming...
Crumbly crust donuts? Wow! Don't leave without me, Mom. I'll be right back. I have to get dressed. Oh, boy, crumbly crust donuts. Hey, where's my other sneaker? I remember having it on before I went to bed last night, but... Oh, no.
What's the matter, Stanley?
I've forgotten where I put my other sneaker. Harry, have you seen my other sneaker?
Oh, I get it. The sneaker goes missing, and everyone instantly thinks the dog hid it. I'm innocent. By the way, if you see the elephant, don't tell him I'm here.
Elsie? Stanley, can't you see I'm trying to sleep? Sorry, you can keep sleeping. No sneaker here either. I have totally forgotten where I put my sneaker. If I can't find my sneaker, I can't go to the supermarket with Mom. If I don't go to the supermarket with Mom, I won't get any crumbly crust donuts. Dennis, if you were a sneaker, where would you be?
I don't know a thing about sneakers. I've got fins.
There must be some animal on this planet who can help me remember. Wait, isn't there a saying about elephants?
A saying about elephants? What kind of a saying?
An elephant never forgets.
I've heard that saying, but I wonder if it's true. Do you think an elephant can really remember everything?
That does sound hard. I'm always forgetting things. But the saying must come from somewhere.
And I know just where to look it up.
Are you thinking what I'm thinking?
I think so, Stanley.
Then let's go look it up in the Great Big Book of Everything.
Now let's get down to business.
It's the Great Big Book of Everything with everything inside. See the world around us. This book's the perfect guide.
A moment, please.
To find where his sneaker went, Stanley wants to find an elephant.
I'll never get used to that.
Elephant sounds like it starts with L. So I'll look it up under L.
Stanley, elephant might sound like it starts with L, but are you sure?
Now that you mention it, I do remember seeing elephant written down somewhere. If I can remember, the word elephant starts with E. Elephant starts with an E, and then comes the L. Look, these pictures show two different kinds of elephant.
Can you spot how these elephants are different from each other?
This one looks like he has bigger ears and longer tusks.
That one lives in Africa, and the other one lives in Asia.
But they both look pretty big, Dennis.
Should we see how big an elephant actually is?
Let's go! Yahoo!
An elephant can grow up to 13 feet tall. That's almost 4 of you, Stanley.
Wow, that's tall. How much does an elephant weigh?
Up to 6 tons. That's 12,000 pounds. To find a heavier animal on Earth, you'd have to go underwater and find a blue whale.
When the elephants come to my house to help me remember where I put my sneaker, I guess I'll need a lot of orange juice.
Stanley, orange juice may be your favorite thing to drink, but elephants prefer water. About 30 gallons of it a day. Imagine drinking 30 containers of orange juice every day, Stanley.
That's a lot to drink.
They use their trunks to vacuum or suck water up and then spray it in their mouths.
Okay, so I don't have to worry about having enough glasses when the elephants come to my house. But what should I make for dinner?
I think all you need is to say one word.
What word is that, Dennis?
Timber!
Wow.
Stanley, are you all right?
Yeah, but those elephants are hungry.
They eat up to 300 pounds of bushes, plants and trees a day. Oftentimes they'll knock trees over so the whole herd can eat together.
Wow. Now I know what to have for dinner when the elephants come over. Trees, and a lot of them.
Or you can make them macaroni and trees. Get it? Macaroni and trees?
Yeah, I get it. Now all that's left to figure out is if the saying is true.
Which saying is that again?
That elephants never forget.
I believe the saying comes from how the female elephant uses her memory to retrace her steps to all the best places for food and water. It's called migration. For example, some birds fly the same path south every winter. Even sea turtles retrace their path every year so they can go to the same beach to lay their eggs.
Now I know which elephant I need to come over to my house to help me remember where I put my sneaker.
Which elephant, Stanley?
This mommy elephant.
Stanley, didn't I say let's not get carried... Whoa! Stanley, where are you? I can't see you past all this elephant.
Here I am. I guess this didn't turn out like I thought it would.
And where am I supposed to sleep now?
Hey, guys, has anyone seen Harry?
Right here, dude.
Stanley, what do we do?
I don't know. If only I could remember where I was the last time I had my sneaker. Wait, that's it.
What's it?
I'll retrace my steps to the last time I remember wearing my sneaker, just like elephants retrace their steps when they migrate.
But how are you going to retrace your steps with all this elephant in the room?
May I suggest migrating her back where she came from?
Great idea, Elsie. Hi, elephant. Now let me think. Last night, I was wearing my sneakers till right before I went to bed.
You took them off sitting right there? Did you kick them off your feet?
What do you mean?
Did you use one foot to kick the other sneaker off your other foot?
Oh, yeah, I did. But I didn't do that with the other sneaker. I took the other sneaker off with my hands and threw it in the... I found it! My sneaker! I retraced my steps to help me remember.
Stanley! Crumbly Crust Donuts await!
Coming, Mom!
My car keys aren't in this coat. I wonder where they are.
Better retrace your steps, Mom. Try to remember the last time you had your car keys.
Oh, okay. Let me think. Yesterday I wore my red coat. Aha! Stanley, how did you get to be such a smart boy?
Well, I learned a lot from the great big book of everything.
Stanley, I can't think of anyone who deserves a couple of these more than you.
Crumbly Crust Donuts. Thanks, Mom.
Mwah.
Now I know that elephants like to drink water and eat trees and plants. And that the saying, elephants never forget, comes from how mommy elephants remember how to retrace their steps.
When the seasons change, the herd is led by the mother elephant to where they can find food and water.
It's called migration.
Very good, Stanley.
One thing I'll never forget is how to fall asleep. Good night, Dennis.
Good night, elephant boy. The Garbage Can Bandit. I say, Stanley, I am not used to this new bowl in the slightest.
That's because it's not a bowl, Dennis. It's a jar. I've turned it into your home away from home while I clean your real home.
Well, are you almost done cleaning my real home then?
I just need to finish scrubbing your convertible chair.
Stanley, be careful.
Whoa!
Ah!
Oh, no! Huh?
Stanley, you could get in real big trouble with your mom and dad.
For splashing? Don't worry, Harry. I'll clean it up.
No, dude, for the mess you made in the backyard.
What mess? I didn't do this, honest.
Really?
Harry, why do you think Stanley's the one who knocked over the garbage can?
Well, it wasn't me, so I figured it was Stanley. You know, because he's a kid and kids knock things over sometimes and they don't finish their food and they don't eat their vegetables and they...
Harry, I don't think you have enough evidence to say Stanley knocked over the garbage can.
Evidence? What's that?
Evidence is what proves something true or not true.
And knowing that kids sometimes knock things over is not enough evidence to say Stanley knocked over the garbage can.
Hey, Dennis, do you have enough evidence to say who knocked it over?
No, Harry, I don't.
Do you, Elsie?
I don't have a clue.
It's a mystery.
Mystery?
Yeah, worry because there isn't a mystery made that can't be solved by Detective Stanley. Now, let's see. Whoa! Look what I found.
Look, there's a paw print.
Wow, you're good.
Thanks. Now, Harry and Elsie, I need you to place your paws in the mud next to that paw print so I can compare them.
My paw? But Stanley, I didn't knock over the garbage.
Elsie, Detective Stanley knows what he's doing.
Well, all right.
Do you notice anything different about these paw prints?
Harry's print is the biggest. He has 4 toes and claws, too. That's what all dog paw prints look like. And Elsie's print has 4 toes and no claws, because she's a cat. But the mystery print is smaller than both Harry and Elsie's. It has 5 toes that kind of look more like fingers with claws.
Do you see all the differences between the paw prints?
From this evidence, can you now tell who knocked over the garbage can?
Well, not yet. But I do know it wasn't a dog or a cat, because the paw prints don't match.
I couldn't have figured that out.
You don't say.
But I still haven't solved the mystery of who did do it.
I know just the woman who can help us.
Who, Dennis?
Just one of the greatest detectives you know.
One of the greatest... Mom! I need your help gathering evidence.
Gathering evidence?
The garbage can got knocked over, and there's a mystery paw print right next to it, so I'm trying to learn everything I can about the paw print.
Did you just say the garbage can got knocked over?
Yeah, but if you help me learn about the mystery paw print, I can figure out who did it.
I'm mixing plaster. Plaster is kind of like the stuff I use as a dentist to make molds of people's teeth, but you and I can use this plaster to make a mold of the paw print.
So we fill the paw print with the plaster, and when the plaster gets hard and dries, we'll have a mold of the paw print. Super smart, Mom. But what do I do once I have a mold of the paw print?
Look for an animal whose paw matches this, and you'll have found your bandit.
Wow, Stanley's mom really is a great detective.
Thanks, Mom. Can I help you clean up the yard?
Oh, it's no problem. You go find your animal, sweetie. I'll clean up this mess of a yard.
Hey, Dennis, now let's go ask Dad for some help. Dad!
Oh, hello there, Stanley.
Detective Stanley, Dad. I'm looking for a match to this paw print. Ever seen one like it before?
I'm not sure. Why don't we look it up together on the computer?
Super smart, Dad. Let's get surfing. No, that's not a match. That paw print's webbed. It's a duck's print. No, that print is a hoof. That's a horse's print. Wait, that's it. It's a match.
Well then, let me click on the paw print and we'll get a picture of the garbage can bandit.
It's a raccoon.
Oh, I'll get that.
Stanley, I think we should investigate raccoons further.
Now we're going online to find out everything. We'll surf the internet for the answers it can bring.
The real mystery is how you two always show up.
A raccoon with a plan was inside the garbage can.
Let's go. Yahoo! Dennis, where are you?
Down here, Stanley.
Oh, where are we, Dennis?
Stanley, I do believe we are in the dark.
No kidding. But why are we in the dark?
Raccoons are nocturnal animals. That means they come out at night.
Dennis, look. They look like robbers with masks on. You know, like in the movies.
Why, that's it. That's why raccoons are called bandits. The streak of colour around raccoons' eyes makes them look like they have masks on, like a bandit in a movie. But that's really only one reason why they're called bandits.
So what are the other reasons?
They're also called bandits because of their clever nighttime missions. Since raccoons sometimes live near people, they've been known to eat people's garbage because it's a convenient source of food for them. Raccoons also have long fingers and hand-like paws which help them in opening garbage can lids.
Why do raccoons like garbage so much?
Raccoons are scavengers. A scavenger can eat almost anything, like nuts and berries. Or something from your garbage. Or even something from underwater.
Are raccoons the only scavengers?
Not at all, Stanley. There are several others. Including crows and seagulls. Although they aren't much appreciated, scavenger animals are very helpful. They clean the earth of garbage.
Dennis, we've got to get that bandit.
I wonder where you can find raccoons. Do you know where raccoons live?
Hey, that's it! Raccoons live in trees.
Actually, raccoons live in what are called dens. Remember, raccoons are nocturnal animals. That means raccoons usually come out at night. So a den can be any place that's dark during the day so they can sleep. And raccoons make their dens under your house or in hollow trees.
So that's it. Now I know where this mystery leads to.
Where, Stanley?
That tree. This mystery leads into that tree.
Let's not get carried away, Stanley.
Aw, Dennis. Huh?
Dennis didn't say that. I did.
But, Dad, I gotta catch that bandit.
Stanley, you're never supposed to touch raccoons. Ever. They're wild animals
Wild scavenger animals, Dad.
who belong with other wild animals in the forest. And that's how we're going to help our little bandit. With this trap, we'll be able to bring the raccoon back to the forest. It will have plenty of food to eat, and it won't have to depend on our garbage.
Dad, once again, super smart.
Like father, like son.
This is what we detectives call a stakeout. See, Dennis, you and I have to stay up all night so we can catch the garbage can bandit. Dennis? Well, I guess it's up to me to stay up all night on the stakeout. Oh no, I fell asleep. I better go see if we caught the bandit. Dad, do we?
We caught him, Stanley. The mystery of the garbage can bandit is solved.
Wow. Hello there, raccoon.
And now it's time to take him back to his natural home.
Are we going to the forest, Dad?
There he goes. And case closed. Wouldn't you say, Detective Stanley?
Yeah. But you know, Dad, come to think of it, I'm gonna kind of miss that masked animal. Thanks for all your help, Dad.
Don't mention it, Stanley. What are detective dads for?
Wow, we sure learned a lot about raccoons.
Yes, we did. Like why they're called bandits.
It's because the fur around their eyes makes them look like they have masks on.
And because of their clever nighttime missions.
But they're not bandits at all. They just need to be in the right place to find their food.
And now, thanks to Detective Stanley, that's exactly where our friend Mr. Raccoon is.
Back in the forest, safe and sound. Good night, Dennis.
Good night, Raccoon Boy.
Stay tuned for Guess How Much I Love You, coming up on Disney Junior.
His name is Robin Hood.
Tarzan?
Stitch.
How?
You're invited to the magical world of Disney Junior.
I can't believe it!
You must be joking.
I think it's gonna be perfect.
I'm going where the sky is bluer. I'm going where the magic begins. I'm going to Disney Junior. Come on, everyone, join in.
This will be my greatest performance.
You're flying! You're flying! Like that!
You just say the word and I'm there.
Disney Junior. Enjoy movie adventures.
Show off.
On the magical world of Disney Junior.
It's all you! Knock 'em dead!
Oh, it was amazing. Weekend nights starting at 6/5 Central on Disney Junior.
Winnie the Pooh and his friends lived deep in the 100-acre wood, where they had some of the most amazing adventures. Have a look and see for yourself. Now, on this bright autumn day, young Roo was with his bestest friend, Tigger, looking for clues to help Tigger learn about his family.
Maybe it's in here, Roo Boy. Any clue can lead to my family, and then we can all boast a whoop-de-dooper, loop-de-looper, alley-ooper bounce.
The whoop-de would do what kind of bounce?
The most hardest bounce of them all. Then only the very bestest bouncers can bounce.
Only the very bestest bouncers. I could do the whooper-dooper,
You can't bounce the bounce if you can't even pronounce the bounce. Repeat after Tigger. Oh, whoop-de-dooper, loop-de-looper, alley-ooper bounce. The whoop-de-dooper, loop-de-looper, alley-ooper bounce. It's got the zip that makes you flip, and that's what really counts in the whoop-de-dooper, loop-de-looper, alley-ooper bounce.
When do I get to learn the whoopy-looper-whooper? The whooper...
Now you swing your legs up high, and you twist your tail in tight. Wind up all your springs, and with your eyes fixated straight ahead, you let it all loose.
Is this right?
It's best when done by Tiggers, 'cause our Tiggerific figures are filled with whims and vigors, and that's the thing that triggers the whoop-de-dooper, loop-de-looper, alley-ooper bounce. The whoop-de-dooper, loop-de-looper, alley-ooper bounce.
The more you try, the more you fly, and that's what really counts.
Right, it activates and elevates, accelerates, and more. You're bouncing off the ceiling like you never did before. The whoop-de-dooper,
Whoop-de-dooper,
loop-de-looper,
loop-de-looper.
Although they didn't discover much about Tigger's family that day, Tigger did teach Roo how to do the whoop-de-super.
You mean the whoop-de-dooper?
Oh, right, the whoop-de-dooper, alley-ooper, whatever it was called. It was a very super bounce indeed.
You're watching Disney Junior, a special place for kids just like you. Disney Junior, where the magic begins. It's time for Disney Junior Fun Facts. Brought to you by Disney's Jake and the Neverland Pirates. Peter Pan Returns, a full-length adventure new on Disney DVD with 8 additional Jake adventures and a DVD premiere episode. Peter Pan is back.
Did you miss me?
We sure did! Bet! And he needs Jake and crew to help him find his shadow.
All the way.
Let's do it!
Did you know that shadows can be used to tell time?
How curious indeed.
Long ago, before clocks were invented, people used sundials to tell time. As the sun moved across the sky during the day, the shadow on the sundial would show what time it was.
You're right.
Hopefully, Jake and his crew can help Peter find his shadow before they run out of time.
I think I've got an idea how we can get my shadow back and have some fun with old Captain Hook.
Disney's Jake and the Neverland Pirates, Peter Pan Returns. Now available on Disney DVD with digital copy for fun on the go. See you next time. Disney Junior invites you to Paris where you'll meet
Gaspar and Lisa.
Hello. Bonjour.
They're best friends.
You want to see what I drew? We were both thinking the same thing.
Who do everything together.
Ta-da!
When something goes wrong, they call it a
Catastrophe!
But when they work together to make things right